Okay, my name's Dayton. I'm going to start documenting my 4 cars as I build them. Today I'm just going to talk about each car, the history of it, and the future plans. So let's go. Starting off with my most recent purchase, this here is my 1996 Nissan 240SX. I bought this car September 2022, pretty much as is, as you see it. The thing was an ex-drift car. It had a fuel cell in the trunk. They cut the spare tire well out, made a flat bottom trunk to mount this fuel cell, welded diff. It had a straight pipe exhaust that dumped right underneath the door basically. So I haven't done much to this car. I pretty much just want to like revert it back to stock, do the body work on it, paint it, put some wheels on it, change up the aero a little bit, and I want to put AC back in it. It doesn't have AC right now. Fix up the interior and just drive it. Man, I miss being in a rear-wheel drive car. All I've really done to the interior is the steering wheel, and that's it. I need to find a new dash, new center AC vents, radial bezel, seats. The back seats are out because I had to get through the trunk to unlock it. I have problems with the trunk. But yeah, man, this thing is rough. Looked a lot better in pictures. I bought it anyways. I don't know why. I guess I'm just an addict for S chassis. The reason this car isn't on the road right now is because it's not getting power to the fuel pump. I have put a factory fuel tank back in it since I bought it. It's just not getting power. It's all stock motor, stock intake, stock exhaust. Very simple car. It's just been sitting here really since I bought it. Need someone to come through and check out the electronics for me. I got somebody that's supposed to come pretty soon, take a look at it. But moving on though, this here is the second most recent car I've had. I bought this thing January 2022, bone stock, EK hatch. I was dailying a 97 Corolla. I traded the guy. I gave him $300 for it. This thing was bone stock, automatic, D-series, blown head gasket. So since my ownership, I kind of built this thing from the inside out. S2000 seat, steering wheel, red carpet, red floor mats, Integra passenger seat. I'm still looking for an S2000 seat for the passenger side. It came with the deck. Interior's pretty simple. This car's just the daily. I got the K1s, Willwoods, coilovers, SI front lip. But yeah, this thing's pretty simple. JDM mirrors, replica spoon wing, JDM mid wing. Currently I'm in the middle of doing body work to this thing actually. I'm trying to get this thing painted. I just want a clean cruising car. Yeah man, that's it. My Honda. I might as well show the motor. Alright. This thing has been engine swapped, but it's still a stock motor. The old motor had a blown head gasket. 5-speed swapped as well. Just all factory clutch, factory everything. It's a Y7 with a Y8 intake manifold, just to clean it up, make it look a little better. But that's it, man. Pretty simple car. As of right now though, it's just the A to B car, man. Get me to where I need to go. Alright, my other 2 cars are down at the shop, so let's go down there now and check them out. Rolling up to the shop right now, I kind of realized I wanted to talk about the future plans for this thing. So pretty much keep it simple. I want a K24 swap, 6-speed transmission, and I'm actually in the process of body working this thing and painting it. And the car is going championship white. It's gonna be pretty simple, clean, and yeah. Alright, so this one right here is my 1992 Nissan 240SX. I bought this car March 2018 for 1,100 bucks. It was a bone stock, automatic, 4-lug, base model car. It's a slick top, crank window car. This thing has had a ton of work, and it's maybe seen the road for about 2 months in my ownership. The rest of it has been in this shop getting body worked and modified. The most heavily modified part of this car is definitely the suspension. In the back it has an S14 subframe. All the pickup points for the suspension have reinforcement plates welded on. It's got a solid subframe mounts, solid diff mounts, 350Z limited slip diff, 5-lug conversion, Z32 brakes front and rear. And this thing was super beat up when I bought it. This quarter panel was smashed in, the other quarter panel was smashed in. With the help of my pops though, we got this thing looking really straight. It's pretty much ready for paint right now. Just gotta order the paint. Been procrastinating. This car is gonna go candy apple red, like a House of Colors Brandywine type of feel, with a gloss black roof. Looking for some 3-spokes for this car. I think that'll fit the vibes nice. I have skirts for it. Type X skirts, replica Type X skirts, Type X rear valances. I have OEM Type X front bumper. I have a 0-mile S14 KA for it that's going in as soon as the car is painted. The factory motor, I'm gonna build it for turbo, so this car will stay Nissan all the way through. The goal is about 400 horsepower. In this chassis I think it's more than enough. It'll be really rowdy. These cars are getting really hard to find, so I don't ever plan on swinging. It's gonna be a fun weekend. Cruiser, simple street car, full interior, factory everything. Either pole positions or Lomax. And still got to order late model tail lights. Poor car's been sitting for a fat minute, although it is pretty much ready to go. This is probably the closest to completion car that I have. I don't see this thing sitting here for more than another few months.
2,000 years later.
240SX, one of my first dream cars, so I'm really grateful that I own it. This car is going to be sick when it's done. Moving on though to the last car, my very first car, and probably my favorite car. This right here is my 1992 Lexus LS400. It's my very first car. Bought this thing for 800 bucks when I was 15 years old. Man, I got so many stories with this car, it's hard to start. This is what pretty much got me into cars to where I am today. This thing has been through it all, man. Cut springs, replica wheels. It's been through the worst stages that any car should go through. This car originally was bought to be flipped, and a buddy of mine showed me VIP cars. He showed me what they do overseas, and really grew on me. So the point where this car is at now is this is my top level build. This thing has a 2JZ non-VVTi real Supra JDM motor. I bought this motor from a buddy of mine for more than I'd like to admit. This 2JZ made 700 horsepower and 700 foot-pounds of torque in my buddy's S2000. Now it lives in my car. It is just test fitted in the bay. It's not actually mounted. This thing's gonna be sick when it's done. Wheels 18 by 11.5 in the front, 18 by 14 in the back, made by SSR, 90s JDM wheel. I have all metal wide body for this car. This thing actually has an all metal custom door and side skirt. You give it like a modern feel, modern vibes. Keeping it all Toyota with this one. If there's any car that I'd keep forever, it'd definitely be this one. I've definitely had the most memories with this thing. It's the longest running project of mine. It's the most money invested. Honestly, the most difficult car to build because of how much work was invested, or involved, I should say. Every single one of these panels was made from a flat sheet of metal. There's still a lot to go too. You know, this thing is a nightmare. It just doesn't end with this car. The goal is, you know, full VIP show car, but fast. And with the best motor ever made, 2JZ GTE. This thing's gonna be rowdy when it's done. The plans for this thing are, you know, obviously big plans, but incrementally, of course, the small things that I'd like to do to it this year. Although this is a long-term project, it doesn't really have a set deadline. I would like to get the engine and transmission mounted this year. I'd like to cut the wheel arches out for the tubs. I'd like to finish the end caps on all of this metal. Needs to be plated off and sealed, so all this is done. As you can see, all this needs to be plated, welded in so it's proper. I do have the wide body arches for the back already. I can show you guys how that would look. So these are ulterior motives wide body. I actually reached out to him and he custom made these wider than what he normally makes. Like this. The only reason I haven't finished fully welding them is because I kind of want to redo the wheel tubs, tub it higher, so the car has more clearance. I know this thing's going to be squatting heavy when it's getting under load. Want to like future-proof it all now, so I'm not rubbing or doing any nonsense after the car's been fully painted and stuff. I was originally going to paint this car silver, but the gold's grew on me. I think I'm going to keep it gold. Keep it classy, keep it timeless. These were my 4 cars, and let's see where the builds go.